Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Evergreen Gardens for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic. Convert the beautiful Evergreen Gardens into a thriving theme park. Your objective, to have at least 1,000 guests in your park at the end of October year 4 with a park rating of at least 600. Okay, so not a very hard goal, but we do remember that Evergreen Gardens is quite a large park and it does have quite complicated pathing. As you can see from the mini map there, all the grey is the pathing. So if we just let the guests go nuts on that pathing to begin with, firstly, we're not going to get any money from them. If we've got the shops and rides at the start, they're going to be off in the rest of the park, not spending cash. And also, they are going to get lost and stuck. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to be putting down some no entry signs at key points. So we'll put one there for nowsies, just so they can't get into the rest of the park. But what we will do is we will open up the pathing strategically as we play. I do intend on keeping a lot of the pathing as it is. I will adjust slightly, but I do want to keep the pathing and the scenery as much as possible and work around that. Okay, so let's have a look then. We are charging for entry, so what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to put down quite a few rides to begin with quite quickly, enough to justify a larger price. I usually go for £40. So a handful of flat rides and a coaster or something will easily justify that. We've got a train, we've got some gentle rides, so things like these can be put down quite quickly. We've got a couple of coasters that we can build quite quickly if we want to. We've got a thrill ride, and yeah, we've got a few water rides. We do have quite a bit of water here, so we can make use of those if we want to, and not a great selection of shops. So considering everything, I think shops is probably the way to go, at least for year one, as is becoming the norm. Because if you look, so we've got plenty of rides to get on with, and by the time we've built a lot of these, we should have unlocked some other things. A kiosk is going to be key. The map will help guests see a few more junctions ahead, and obviously the sweet umbrella cash is going to help us quite a lot as well. So I think for this one then, I've got this idea for a story that I've come up with, which is completely original, not based on any other work fiction. And I think I'm going to try and integrate that into this park as a way of sort of thrashing out the ideas and maybe finding out if there's a potential audience for it. So I'm going to crack on. I'll see you soon. May year 166 guests in the park. We're charging £40 entry, and we've got a haunted house, a junior coaster, and a carousel built as well. And we've blocked off the entry to that path going up there, this path coming down here, and we've got a no entry sign just down there. So I had this kind of idea. Maybe there could be like these like small sort of hairy creatures with big feet. Probably going to call them similar to rabbits, but not quite rabbits. Call them maybe robbits. And so this coaster here is called Mr. Underhill. He's a robbit. Or they like thieving stuff as well, so it helps with the robbit thing. Decent stats on that. Comes out up the chain lift, down under the hill. See, that's what it's called, and then around and about. And then over here, then we got the haunted house, and this is called Sackville Manor because the Sackville family they wanna try and steal the Underhill. But there's a bit of contention. There's a bit of lore which I haven't quite thrashed out. And then over here, then we've got the merry go round because maybe one of the characters is called Mary. I don't know, but maybe someone in the future. I don't know. I'm quite, as I said, haven't quite thrashed it through. It's all sort of tentative, all quite highly original. So I'm thinking maybe one day, at Underhill, some small creatures, maybe fairies, come and visit the Robbits at Underhill. Because if you've ever seen my Instagram, I've got a corgi, and in Celtic mythology, fairies are said to have rode corgis into battle. That's why they've got the white marks on the back of the neck are meant to be from the saddles. So maybe the fairies and the Underhill, Mr. Underhill, the Robbit, go on an adventure together. I haven't quite worked out what yet, but maybe during year 2 or the rest of year 1, I'll have figured that out. But yeah, so let's have a look then at the research. We're now researching roller coasters because we got a few shops. We got the kiosk. That's the most important thing, and then we've got a bit of a variety there. So we're researching roller coasters because we do want to get some nice, cheap and cheerful rides into the park in order to drive more guests to come in and give us a lot more cash. I do see us taking out a huge loan. We've got 11,000 at the moment. It's 10%, which isn't a huge amount, but we can take out a lot more. So we haven't got to worry too much. And hopefully by the time, I can't imagine us taking out a 40,000 loan, but 20 at least. And after that, then hopefully we'll have so many guests coming into the park that we should be able to pay that off. And if not, we've got other tricks up our sleeve. October year 1, 429 guests in the park. And on their adventure, the first thing that the Robbit and the fairies encounter is a troll. Yeah, maybe a family of them. Decent excitement on that. So it's a corkscrew coaster. It launches out into a batwing, back around photo section, nice sweeping bend, and then back to the station. As I said, you want cheap and cheerful. And I figure with this one, it's kind of underground because maybe the trolls have a cave or something, and then it shoots out. And I don't know, maybe the photo section, the light from the photo section turns them into stone. I don't know. Like I said, haven't really thrashed it through, but completely original, not inspired by any other work of fiction, so please don't sue me. So I've tidied up some of the pathing as well, making it a little bit neater and easier for the staff to work their way around. No entry signs now. I've got one. So look, hide the. If I hide the scenery, it hides the sign. So I've got one just down there, and then we've got one just down there. So we're funneling the guests up this way. And then, so we've got this one here. So then further along on their adventures, then they encounter someone who is half bear, half man, half wolf, and half bird, which admittedly is a lot of halves, but it's a magical world. Those things can happen. So it's a launch coaster, then looping coaster, decent stats on that. So it launches out, nice airtime hill, down into a loop, some sweeping bends, another loop, an interaction with the loop, and then back to the station via a little brake run as well. Pretty cool. So we're going to be working our way back over here. As I said, I've adjusted some of the paths slightly. So we're going to work on this area here. So I've got some ideas because we're going to be working our way around the park this way. And I think so far it's looking pretty good. And I think the story's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a trilogy of books in this idea. I mean, maybe some films as well. So anyway, let's crack on and see what we can come up with in year 2. October year 2. I've got a couple of pirate ships down there called Huckleberry Ferry. There you go, to get yourself across the rivers, across the lakes, etc. And then moving on down past half wolf, bear, giraffe, lion, right? We've got a car ride called Oakses Autos. So it's a car ride owned by the Oakses. Yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it? Look at that, decent stats. It just comes around, got some buildings and things like that. And then underneath then the Oakses Autos, we've got, it's hard to see. Hang on, can I get it from a different angle? No, I can't quite. Hang on, let's try. There you go. We've got a little maze. There you go, cave maze. So there's a little cave, in the dark. Maybe there's riddles or something. I don't know. As I said, haven't thrashed it through. And then after that, then coming over here, we've got a maze in a forest, in a wood, a dark wood called the Milkwood Maze. So it's the Milkwood, and there's a maze inside it. I don't know. Maybe there's some bugs or something. As I said, haven't quite thrashed it through. Oh, hang on. What's this over there? What's this green thing? It's a stand-up coaster. That's right, because over here, this is where the elves live, and this is Standuil. the Elf King. It's a stand-up coaster, so it's called Standuil. Again, completely original, not inspired by any other work of fiction. Decent stats though, because it is a stand-up. It's the old style stand-up coaster, so they are quite tricky to get the excitement on it. But it's a pay entry park, so it doesn't really matter how exciting it is because the guests are paying to come in. They're not paying to go on the rides themselves. But they seem to like it. So it goes up the little chain lift, not too high. Don't really need it to go up too high. Let's have a look at the height on the track. So it goes up to 40 feet down. So 40 feet's enough really to go around a loop like this. So it drops down. I do like the way it kind of hangs at the top. And then there you go. So it's not going too fast that you're getting any problems through the corkscrews. Again, you don't want to be going through corkscrews any faster than about 40 miles per hour. We'll take that off. So where are we up to now? We've done the Milkwood. We've done the L. So I figure what we need to do now is we're researching shops again now. So I figure, why don't we research maybe water rides? Because it'd be cool if there was some sort of water rides. Because in the Lord, so where we've gone now is the fairies and the Robbits. They've gone through the Orcses. Fairies fought the Orcses, and then the Robbit was doing the maze thing in the cave. And then after that, then they got into this big maze in the Milkwood. And after that, then they were kind of rescued, kind of captured by the elves and the Elf King Standuil. It's a stand-up coaster. So we need some way of them escaping. So I figure, because we've got a nice lake down here, wouldn't it be cool if there was some sort of water ride they could escape on? Again, completely original, not based on any other work of fiction. October year 3, almost 1,200 guests in the park. We only need 1,000, so we're higher than the goal. We don't need that. Oh, Maze 3, no exit from the park. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're doing my maze trick. So the guests come in, they funnel, they fall underground, they disappear from the park. More guests get generated, pay the entry and come in. It's just a good way of giving us cash because, look, we're 17,000 in the loan. We're not earning a huge amount from park entrance tickets. And if I want to do anything exciting with the park, I need cash. So I need to do that. We'll get rid of them in the future. Anyway, so back over here then, we've got a barrel escape because I don't know, maybe the elves like beer. Probably, I know, they're probably trendy. They probably like IPAs or something like that, or Pilsner. So they're probably because trendy people think the Pilsner is cool, whereas everyone else knows that lager is just normal. Anyway, so barrel escape, so decent stats, not too high again. It's a pantry park. We don't need any fantastic rides. So it comes in here. We've got the entry just up here. We've also got an exit there, and we've got the exit there, and we've got an exit down there where the exit station is. So the reason for that is we've got a path leading from the exit all the way up to the exit at the top. And I did that before I thought of redoing that path there. Because the way I figured is it'll be easier for the mechanic. See this mechanic up here, he's up here, he's fixing Standuil, the stand-up Elf King ride, and he needs to fix this right down here. He needs to get to this exit down here. Well, it's going to be a bit of a pain. So at the time when I didn't have that path there, it made sense. Now I've got that path. It maybe doesn't make sense, but we kept it in anyway. So we've got a path connecting around the back because we want to get it over to this area. So the barrel comes down, and then it comes down here, down the river, and then around here, and then you got the exit station then. And they escape, they're free from the elves to carry on their journey over. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh yeah, there's a dragon. So the reason that the fairies are on this mission, they've enlisted the help of the Robbit, is because they want to go and get back to their fairy castle that the dragon stole from them. And the dragon is a bit full of himself, to be honest. That's why he's called Smug. decent starts. Look at that excitement, high excitement, very high excitement, very high intensity. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. Let's have a look. Let's hide the scenery so we can see inside. There you go. So I've got what I like to do is I like to have the station 2 tiles or 2 units above the ground. That way then you can wrap the queue underneath. So it's a good way of building the queue line quite densely. It also makes it a bit neater, especially when you hide it with scenery, and it gives you a cheeky excitement bonus as well. So that's pretty cool. And then we got the exit and entrance coming down by here. Guests loving it. So it comes out a few little bunny hills, rabbit hills, down around here, comes down underneath the bridge, up over here, around underneath another bridge, underground view. There you go. Nice long chain lift up, drops down all the way around, got a loop back through. And then we got this underground section here. Now, fun fact is, when I first built it, this section underground was more or less flat, and the stats came back. They were about 4 excitement because it didn't have a high enough drop, so the stats were halved. So I added a better drop underneath. So if you hide land surface, height marks on the land, you can see it goes from 5 down to... It's hard to see. I can't work out what's going on. Honestly, I'm not even going to pretend I can. I can't work out what's going on with that view. So anyway, yeah, that's where the high drop is. So it's got a drop of 32 feet. Yeah. So yeah, and then after that, after defeating Smug, they're going to come back and they're going to go back home at some point. But I figure we need some sort of, I don't know, maybe like a battle, some sort of battle of multiple armies or something. Because once everyone knows that the dragon is gone, everyone is going to be like literally everyone is going to want to come and steal all the gold and stuff or whatever, rubies, maybe that's why it's red, from the fairy castle. So yeah, I figure what we'll do is so I'm probably not going to have enough time to do what I really want to do. So what we'll do is we'll pad out this area on the way back with flat rides. We'll get rid of these mazes down there. And then what we'll do then after October year 4, when we pass the scenario, I'll come back in and I'll start filling out the rest of the park with some cool coasters and things like that. So I don't think we're going to have the time or the money to do it in the next year. October year 4, and I've been filling out the rest of the park with some flat rides. We've got some spiral slides down there. We've got some 3D cinema just there. We've got observation tower just there, a launch tower. We've got dodgems. We've got a Ferris wheel. We've got a twist down there. We've got a top spin. Yeah, it's exciting. Doing well. I'm not showing you what the names are because I haven't quite named them yet. So I'm going to do that when I'm building the cool stuff after we've completed the park. So it won't take too long. We'll run on fast forward, finish the goal, and then as I said, I can come back in. I can start building, yeah, we can come back and see what we've done. What are we researching now? I can't remember. Oh, there you go. We finished that. I tell you what, let's research the rest of the roller coasters, see what comes out, because we are going to want something cool, and we got plenty of space the rest of the park to build some exciting rides. So yeah, let's pass the goal then. Let's have it somewhere interesting, somewhere where there's a lot of people, so maybe we can see balloons being let off. Cool. Ooh. Yeah, awesome sauce. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on building, and I will see you soon. And we're back, and we're pretty much all done now. So since I've kind of had a cease and desist letter, because apparently my original story is very similar to an existing story, which I mean I'm not going to dispute it. So I've had to come up with a different ending, some different lore. Again, completely original. but I've had to come up with it. So I've built this coaster. I'll show you in a minute. I've had to do a bit of work on it because it's Mobius and there's 6 trains. Sometimes it goes out of sync and it can be a bit fiddly to put it back into sync, but I'll show you that in a bit. So let's have a look. What have we got? Working back over near where the barrel ride is. There you go. We've got the one and done space ring there. I rejigged the barrels as well since we've now got tons of cash. So I've rejigged it and it's now got good excitement. So all I've done is I've just added some extra drops and things around underground. You don't see it, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like, but it just boosts the excitement and it means that guests are now actually going on the ride. Whereas before when it was like 3 guests weren't bothering, but now they are. So let's have a look how many are on the ride. 86 guests. So there you go. And it's got much higher capacity than that. 31 boats, 8 per boat. That's a lot. So it's probably only running at about a third capacity. Then we've got just over here, 3D Cinema. We've got Tommy B's 3D Extravaganza. So Tommy B's a bit of a singer. He's a bit annoying. Got a hot wife. Likes to sing a song. So this is his show in there. What else have we got here? Oh, the observation tower. There you go, the Sour Man Sour Tower. So there's a Sour Man. He's a bit of a Grinch, I think. If we were to expand on the story, he might be the big bad. But I'm not too sure. And then just down here, oh look, some dead flowers. Oh well, never mind. We've had to lean back into the Welsh mythology, so we've got a couple of characters there, Isloin and Aneirin. And then what have we got just over here? There you go. We got the launch tower just here called Wivertip. And then we've got Bomber's Bangers just down there. Not sure who Bomber is because he doesn't exist in this story, but I'm sure he exists in some stories that aren't anywhere near similar to mine. And then we got Torrin's Twist. And then we got Rock and Raven because there's loads of ravens in this, and they talk. Yeah. Yes, that's pretty cool. Then it's pretty cool. So originally, I was planning on there being a big battle at the end, but apparently my story is similar to another story, so I've had to think of something completely different and highly original. So remember I told you that in Welsh mythology, fairies used to ride into battle on the backs of corgis. Well, after defeating Smug, the dragon, it turns out that Smug had been having a bit of a romantic liaison with a pony. So now they had half dragon, half pony babies. I know, highly original. And so you now have the final battle is between the half pony, half dragon babies and the corgis. So there we are. So we've got 6 trains, 3 in sort of gingery orange, and then 3 in like a red. That's what colour the dragon ponies are. Dronies maybe. Yeah. It links up pretty well because I've worked on it long enough, so it should at this stage. So we've got a lot of tricks in order to get it to sync up. So let's start then at the start. That's a good little spot. We've got a little trim brake. Where is it? Just there on the track on the left, which you don't really see very well, and the chain lift is a little bit higher up on the one on the inside as well, because what we want is that train on the outside to be higher up the chain lift as it gets into that first bend than the one on the inside, so they go in more or less the same. And it would be really nice if the trains were to go off as I'm describing it so that you can see, and they don't really. I tried a load of different things. If I make that brake slower, then the gap is just too much. But as it is, this works out pretty well because after the underground section over here, we got a little high 5 diagonal bit, which works out pretty well. And then we've got this sort of spaghetti mess in the middle. Got a little trim brake here to slow the orange one down, so that when they go on to the second chain left, the red one is in the lead. But then by the time they come round the corners, because obviously the inside track is going to be shorter, they're more or less neck and neck. You're never going to get it perfect, because even if you do get it perfect in testing, it only takes a train full of guests and 1.5 full for it to go out of sync. And then they kind of race over here. And there you go. Because the red one's empty, it's slightly slower around there. Normally, the red one comes under the bridge a lot quicker than I say red. It's the alternate track, so whichever track the red one was on is normally a little bit quicker. So there is a little trim brake just under there to slow it down slightly, so that when they come back up by here, they're more or less in sync, and then it goes back into there. So even though the ride is Mobius, so let's have a look. It's called the Battle of the Pups, because here it's the corgi pups versus the dragon pony pups. Hide right. So there you are. So even though it's Mobius, so the inside track leads to the outside track, and then the outside track leads back to the inside track. If that makes sense, that makes sense. If not, okay. So let me show you now, just in case. So this track here on the inside, when the train goes out from there, it comes back to the outside track there, which then leads it back to the outside track there. When that goes round, it then comes back to the inside track there, which then comes back to the inside track there, and it starts all over again. Okay, yeah, hopefully that made sense. Yeah, so even though stats are, great, one side is always more popular than the other, and I don't know why. It's annoying because this was full before I had to shut it down to retest. But oh well, little head chopper on the chain lift there. I also bounced this file back and forth into OpenRCT2, mainly so I could remove the park fences and also just spam some trees, just make it a little bit easier. Have we got it on full load? We have, and we've got a bit of a delay. Hopefully by the time we come to recording the outro, this ride will be a lot busier. Yeah, so this is pretty cool then. Hopefully you enjoyed my highly original story, regardless of what others may claim that it wasn't original, but I thought it was. Yeah, so this was Evergreen Gardens by Stu Tube. Yeah, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.